If you own a pressure washing business and you've been considering spending money with Angi or Thumbtack to get leads, I'm going to break down in this video if it's worth it and my thoughts on the whole process. Also guys, I am super excited to announce that we just completed our massive in-depth pressure washing lead generation guide that is layered with free tips as well as paid tips and all kinds of things that you can do to generate pressure washing leads. I'm going to put a link to that down in the description. Be sure to check it out. I think you'll find it to be extremely valuable. If you don't know, my name is Sean and I run the Social Media Pros, a pressure washing digital marketing agency. But jumping right into it, I see this getting asked a ton in pressure washing Facebook groups, people posting it on Facebook. Is advertising on Angi worth it, and advertising with Thumbtack actually worth it? So I wanted to make this video because it seems like it's still a pretty big question. Now, some of you may be watching this and you're like, oh, they're definitely not worth it. And you know, honestly, I'm going to kind of break down some things you should consider if you've never tried it, but we're going to get right into it. First of all, if you don't know, websites like Angi and Thumbtack are business directory sites that they run Google ads and they do SEO in local markets to try and get traffic from homeowners looking for specific home services to come to their website. And to be honest, they do a pretty decent job at all of these things, and I know because every client that we work with, when we do search engine optimization, we have to outrank them to get to the #1 spot. So they do a decent job. However, here's the premise, right? So a homeowner goes to Google and they type in pressure washing near me, and whether they click on a Google ad or they go down to the search engine results, these sites, Angi and Thumbtack, show up, and you know, a homeowner may navigate to these websites and then they entice them to tell the website more about their project so they can get a little bit more information. And then once they have this information, they send it out to all of their local contractors, and then it's really just survival of the fittest as to who's going to call the homeowner first and who can close the deal first. That's right, it is a shared lead system. Now, with that being said, you actually don't have to pay either of these platforms to put your business on their websites. And honestly, I recommend that you do it. It's absolutely free to put your business information on their websites. So not only is putting your business information and creating a profile on these sites absolutely free, I mean, it could possibly get you some leads, although it's extremely rare that if you're not paying for the platform, you're probably not going to get any leads. But the second thing that it does is it kind of helps you with SEO under the classification of NAPS, which stands for name, address, and phone number, which is one of the SEO ranking factors. But now for the big question, right? So let's assume that you create the free profile. Is it worth giving them money every single month in hopes to getting pressure washing leads? Maybe. Let's kind of get into it here. For those of you that consume my content, you know that I'm a really big fan of the strategy of do a little bit of everything and double down on the things that work. Now, while the vast majority of pressure washing businesses that use these platforms do not see a positive ROI, there are some that actually do. And furthermore, I know a few companies who use these sites as their primary source of lead flow, and it works extremely well for them. But it's important to note that this is honestly very rare. And this is why my advice kind of leans on the side of no, I don't believe that it is worth it to use these sites. The main reason is because you can't apply my logic of doing a little bit of everything and doubling down on what works. And the main reason for that is because these sites typically require long-term commitments of up to a year. And the average monthly cost of advertising with these sites is right around $300. So is it really worth sinking $3,600 into a platform where it's a shared lead system, you're not guaranteed any leads at all? You know, if you're in that commitment, you're going to have to pay this money even in your off season when you're not getting any leads. And honestly, there's probably 100 other options as far as what you could do with that $300 every month to generate more leads. And again, I would say it's probably not worth it, just mainly because of the commitment, right? You know, if they remove the commitment or somehow, you know, they signed you up or you could sign up on a month-to-month basis, I would say absolutely try it out. You know, worst case scenario, you spend $300 for a month or $600 for 2 months and it doesn't work out and you're out $300 or $600, not $3,600 on a 1 or 2 year commitment or whatever they have, right? Best case scenario is you spend the money and you get a ton of leads and it works extremely well for you, right? So really the biggest problem here is the commitment, because you have to sign up and commit to spend so much money and you don't know what the outcome is going to be. So for that reason, I advise against using these platforms. I wish they didn't have that commitment, because if they didn't have that commitment, then you could see if it works, right? Now the pros are, you know, if you live in a market where there aren't a lot of your competitors using these platforms, then it could be a really good source of a lead flow. the problem is you don't know, right? You know, if you call them, they're going to say that, oh, we don't have that many contractors in our area. So they're never going to give you the real honest, number as far as what you could expect to get from lead flow. So it's really just a hit or miss, but again, the pros are if you're the only one, or maybe there's only one other company that's using Angi or Thumbtack and advertising with them in your market, you could get a ton of leads. I just don't think it's worth it to sign up on a 1-year commitment not knowing a lot of these factors. So again, I'm going to say it's probably not worth it. For those of you that have used these platforms and advertised with them, or you're currently using them, I would love to get your insight down in the comments. And really from a perspective of anybody else who's watching this video, if you have good things to say or negative things to say, drop them down in the comments, because other pressure washing companies may see that and you might be able to give them a little bit more insight that maybe I don't personally have. So either way, I hope this video helps you guys out and can help you make a more educated decision on whether or not to advertise with these platforms, and I will catch you guys in the next video.